Hello, hello, this is MacPotty. Welcome to what will be the start of my Tropico 4 tutorial. It does come with a tutorial, but it doesn't fully explain absolutely everything about this game, and a lot of it you're learning by yourself. Especially, it has got, as we'll see, it has got tutorial missions. So, I'll explain what's in the tutorial missions and what's out of the tutorial missions, just the stuff that I've picked up. So, yeah, let's get started. So, main menu, we've got tutorial, campaign, extra mission, sandbox, challenges. Everyone should know all of this. Challenges, yeah, achievements, credits. This will just be playing the game. So, let's start with sandbox. We can choose an island. It's, you know, it's very... There's not much to choose from, but obviously with the campaign it's all preset, you can't actually change anything. In terms of story, there's not much story, there's just objectives that you own an island and you need to make it better, and you're hungry for power, dictatorship, all that politics crap. It's taking a long time to load. Yeah, there we go. Right. So let's just go with obviously easy settings. Let's random events off. I can explain them. Receives yeah, I want that off. God mode will keep off just for the hell of it. No elections. No, because, yeah, all that stuff's kind of the main part of the game, so I need to keep that off. And you are less likely to be... Let's keep that off. So you can see all the... You can go over what settings you want. Population, yep, that's fine, that's all fine. Okay, so... Now, you can choose your own character to go with, but... There's not much point. All you can do is customize the background, rise to power, and the traits. But, you know, they sometimes make so little difference, it doesn't really matter. I'll just go with Fidel Castro, since he's the first one, who cares? Right. So, first of all, we're pausing the game. So, you've got your basic mouse controls, middle mouse button to rotate, mouse wheel to zoom in, zoom out. Scroll to move. Oops. It's arrow keys, annoyingly, to move this. I'm not used to it being the arrow keys. I think that's from Shogun 2, where it's AWSD. I just said A twice, but oh well. Right, so let's go. Starting with this. Right, you've got your minimap, the date, your cache, time controls. So normal speed, fastest speed, pause, menu button, population, overall happiness, select avatar. You can actually select you in this game. There's not much point to it. It does it automatically. He will automatically go around. You can send him to a construction site and it will improve the building speed. You can send him into a restaurant and it will improve the service quality. You don't. It does it all by itself, so you don't need to actually focus a lot on moving your avatar around. Edicts will come to later. Overlays. This will show you the best place to build stuff, or where there's problem areas. So if we're building corn is best grown in these very deep green areas. Red, it will be useless. Yellow, it's moderate. But green is what you're aiming for. And there's different types of crops, as you can see here.
Another fine day in San
Shut up, woman.
The most beautiful island in the Caribbean.
Just wait for it to stop.
I am Sunny Flowers, and my co-host Penultimo is somewhat busy right now.
No, Presidente. Yes, Presidente.
You'll get these news reports coming up as you play. It's like a radio station. So, As you can see here, you've got different types that you can grow. We'll come to buildings later, but it's just to show you the placement of buildings is important. Next, that's overlays. You can see it for all different kinds of things. As you can see here, it's useful to have. Generally, you won't really need it. I haven't been using it. I've just been playing, enjoying the game, rather than being fucking perfectionist about it. Edicts. These are laws that you can pass that are instantaneous. We've got 6 types, so let's just start with general. Here you can have early elections, free housing, nuclear testing. You can see what they will do. The ones that are crossed out, you need to obviously meet the requirements for it. So for this, yeah, food or healthcare needs to be below 40%. Since it isn't, you can't use it. For the other ones, like these, you need to recruit ministers. We will go into that later. Finally is this. Almanac. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a bitch. There's so much stuff on here, it's annoying to navigate for the first time. So we'll start here. You've got the overview, which is just general ideas of everything. You can see overall happiness, which is important. As the game continues, happiness will increase or decrease from all these different sections. So respect, job quality, liberty, environment, crime, safety, health, care quality, entertainment, religion quality, housing quality, food quality. Keeping all these high is best. You can keep track of them by ticking them, and it will show here if it's increasing, going up, going down for all of them. Since this is the start of the game, there's not been any change, so you'll want to keep coming back here to check what's going on. Number of citizens. A lot of this you don't really need, but we'll go through it anyway. The types of tourists you get. Your balance, what you're making it from, player expenses, yeah, Swiss bank account. The Swiss bank account is money that you get to keep, but you don't actually get to spend. It just adds to your overall score, which is kind of pointless. Your threat level, rebels and criminals, foreign threats, coup threats, blah blah blah. Your avatar's profile, your score. Right, from here, the only thing you really want to keep an eye on is overall happiness. Next you've got people. As you can see here, the respect for everyone, average pay, average age, food quality, income, number of citizens. There's not much you need to keep a track of here. Everything sorts itself out most of the time. Like with respect, their respect will go down when you're not meeting their needs, and when you meet their needs, their respect will go up. Obviously you want to meet their needs, so you want to keep an eye on this. In terms of, well, if they're really unhappy, just do what they want and then they're fine. That's all you need it for, you don't need to keep checking it. Economy, you don't really need to keep an eye on. The difficulty curve in this game is difficult at first, and then as the game continues, we'll throw a few things at you to try and make it more challenging, but it's very easy to recover from. Trade is more important than anything that we've gone through so far. This is what you're trading with, or who you're trading with and what you're trading. It's a little confusing at first, but it's quite easy. If it's got this little chevron here, or an import, that means you're importing that from that country, so US. I'm importing corn, it's got its price. From here I'm importing uranium, and I'm also importing luxury goods. It's quite easy to do that, just stop it, and you're no longer importing them. Or if I want to start importing gold, just click it, allow, sorted. It's very easy to do. Exporting is automatic. If you're growing bananas, and you're getting a lot of bananas. You'll export them to the EU automatically for that price. You don't need to do anything other than grow them. You've got different subtypes for easier managing. Since the export is automatic, the only thing you really need to keep an eye on is how much profits you're making from it. So anything you're exporting will be listed here, and obviously it's in order of how much you're making from each. So corn, you'd be making so much, tobacco, so much, etc, etc. Just keeping an eye on this to make sure that your income stays high. Favoured trade partner just lists who you're trading with the most. EU, USSR, EU, so forth. Next is factions. This is similar to... what was the last one? Where was it? Well, it was similar to a previous subtab we looked at, which showed the respect of all the people. Yeah, this is... yeah, this. Overall respect. But this is better to look at because you can see more detail. So as you can see, the capitalists are 45% happy. So if we look here, we'll see what's going on here. You can see the faction leader, which is an actual person on your island. And you can see that there. We'll go into that later. Close. Oh, well, that's going to stay open. Never mind. The faction supporters, their major demands, which are the ones you need to solve. So they're unhappy that the crime is below 50. Increasing that to 50 will probably increase it to 100%. Communists, you can see all this. The modifiers are events that come up. Like for these are your character traits. So I'm charismatic, communist rebellion, man of the people. That's my actual avatar's profile. That has improved them. You also get missions, such as sending them a certain type of food, or well, for an actual communist demand is that you activate the edict food for everyone, and that will make them happy. In the end, it's just managing, keeping them all happy, just meeting all their demands, making sure they don't fall too low. Next is foreign. These are the foreign powers, people that aren't actually on your island. So you've got 5, sorry. You've got 5 here. These are more annoying to manage, because these foreign factions are the main source of your income, so keeping these guys happy is essential. If you don't keep them happy enough, obviously you lose bonuses that they give you. The US and USSR give you foreign aid, which is something like 10,000 whenever you need it, which comes in handy, especially in the beginning of the game when your money making is very shit. For EU and China and Middle East, you get different bonuses. So for example, for EU you get disaster aid. In the event that you get a disaster, they'll send you money to help cope with it. China and Middle East give other ones. Finally is lists, which just lists a lot of crap, which you don't really need to keep an eye on. Tending to the individual needs is pointless. You want to attend to the overall needs. So that's basically what you get from this. Mostly you'll be going to happiness, factions and foreign. That's all you need to know. Sometimes going into trade to keep an eye on your trading. That's pretty much it. There is a way to lose this game. Every year you can... There's a couple of ways to lose this game actually. First is rebel attacks. If you lose to rebels and they destroy your palace, you lose. If you lose in voting in the election, that comes up I think once every year, every 2 years. If you lose the elections, you lose the game. But I haven't actually lost the elections. The game has ways that will help you win the election. You can fake the tallies, for example. So when it's 50 for you, 51 for your opponent, you rig the election, and then it's suddenly 90 for you, 40 for the other guy. And, you know, you win, and you lose respect for everyone. But you don't lose the game, so who gives a fuck? What's next? Oh, okay. The most important part about this game is building, which is here. You get the subtypes. So for housing, you get all the housing here. It's a lot to take in at first, but you get used to it quite quickly, because not everything you absolutely need. For example, for housing, apartment block works fine. That's what I've been using. I've been using apartment blocks just to keep the housing at an alright amount. When it's got this question mark next to it, it means that you need to unlock the plans. As you can see here, blueprint needed. To unlock the blueprint, you just click it, pay the price to unlock it, it's 2,000, and now you've got the building. Unlocking those blueprints will last the entire mission. So for each new mission, you need to unlock it all over again. Certain buildings like these will require electricity, so you can't build them until you get electricity. Ones you can build now obviously don't require electricity to work. You've got all these different types of buildings, which I'll probably go into detail a bit later. For starters, now we'll just go through what we've got. So you've got your palace here. You can see who's being employed here. These are soldiers. Most of these are the same across all buildings. The upgrades will be listed down here. It will tell you what they do and their price. You've got the wage slider here. You can see their wages, upkeep total. You can set wage for all high school workers and all soldiers. It will display what education they need. For in this case, you need high school men in order to be employed here. You can set special building, I'm not sure what you would call it, building types, as you can see here. Soldiers will gain experience faster, but 15% less job quality. In some cases it's useful to change them. We've got description of the building. Click palace to be zoomed to the palace. Let's just go through a couple of other buildings. This is a tenement. You can see all the people living here. You can see the occupancy, which is at 0 for some reason. You can see the housing quality, which is 35. Set rent types for all buildings, so setting that now will set all tenement buildings to 0 rent, and you can set it back to 1 rent. You've got these little shanties here, or shacks. These are the lowest form of housing. They will really piss people off. They're 10 quality, there's no rent, it's small, it's ugly, we don't want them. Now you've got your farm buildings here, the number of farmers, the production that they're making, the meals that they're providing, and output storage. That's how much is being left over to be exported. You can fire people if you go to this here. A lot of this basic stuff is explained in the tutorial, but I'll go over it anyway. You just right click them to fire them, and you can lock the recruitment slot here. Just lock it so people can't go there, and you can unlock it by doing that. You can hire specialists by left clicking it. You'll hire a specialist not on your island, and they'll arrive and start working there. That's only useful in certain circumstances. We'll come to that later. You've got a garage here, which allows people to get cars to get to work, to the docks, just to get around easier. They don't have cars without this, so having a garage or 2 is useful. So for example, you could have one here for everyone living here, and you can have one at the docks for new people arriving, so forth. Oh, there is one here. Yeah, I started one here as well. So 2 garages, that's plenty for the start. Teamsters will move products around. So anything being grown at the farm, the Teamsters will collect to distribute. to the dock for export, to a market to be sold for food, so forth. And finally, a construction office. These guys will build your buildings for you. Yep, that's all similar. The dock here, you can set how much you're going to be importing by price. So you'll be importing no limit. And at the start, you should generally have it low, because money is a very serious problem at the beginning of the game. You've got your dock workers. It will tell you when another freighter is coming in, so 8 months a freighter will come in to collect exports, bring imports, bring immigrants, etc. You can click on little people, as you can see here, as you run it into this guy.
Excelencia?
This is a dock worker. You can see his name, his nationality, his age, his family tree, his house quality, etc, etc. Just lots of information. Special actions that you can do with this person. You can assassinate them, arrange accident, etc, etc. Oh god. Their happiness. Again, a lot of this you won't need to pay attention to, except for a few things. As long as you've got the means for it, for example, as long as you're growing food, they will meet their own needs. As long as you have what they need, they will go use it. You don't need to keep an eye on them. And if they don't do it, then it's probably better that they starve to death, because you don't need idiots like that. What's next? Right, well, I suppose what's left is to start going through buildings. There's probably something that I've missed. Well, we'll stop here, and we can continue in a moment, nice and fresh.